Following the higher self is a topic that occupies many people's minds. But what is the higher self? And why should you follow your higher self? When you follow your higher self, you become who you really are. You can find your purpose in life, which your higher self is only too happy to share. But a part of you prevents the higher self from doing so. If you want to know more about how all this is connected, stay tuned to the end and get a special bonus.
Brotherhood of the Eternal Light, teaching the Western mysteries.
Why should you follow your higher self? Perhaps you can imagine situations in which everything is going very well. Situations where everything feels right. You feel the pure joy of life and enthusiasm. Can you imagine these situations and how it feels when you go with the flow of life instead of fighting against it? As you master the challenges of your life with ease, you can have these feelings and experiences when you follow your higher self. When you decide to pursue your higher self, you have all the positive forces of creation on your side. Following the higher self means wanting to fulfill its place in the divine plan. Since the higher self and, as a result, creation has a particular interest in doing so, and if you freely decide freely to pursue this path of life, it will support you. What is the higher self, and what prevents you from following it? The higher self, or your spiritual part of the soul, is the highest part of your soul, and always strives to accompany and guide you on the right path. The driving force you can experience through the higher self is the drive for good, and is called Yetzer Ha-Tov in Hebrew. Heeding the call of the Yetzer Ha-Tov means following one's higher self. All ethical and sublime motivations, that is, goodness or morality to a justifiable degree, or standing up for the just cause, are attributed to the Yetzer Ha-Tov. However, the false ego of your lower self has its motivations and is literally forcing them on you. These can influence your thoughts or your mental soul, as well as your emotions or your emotional soul. The force that prevents you from perceiving your higher self and following it is the instinct of evil, called in Hebrew Yetzer Hara. It can affect your mental and emotional soul, not your spiritual soul. The Yetzer Hara is symbolized by Samael and the serpent, as your lower instincts are assigned to the Yetzer Hara. You succumb to Yetzer Hara when you indulge in negative motives, negative thought patterns, or even unbalanced emotions such as the desire for revenge or greed. In summary, your higher self is your purest soul part, which motivates you to develop towards God through the Yetzer Ha-Tov. On the other hand, your lower self's false ego tries to drag you into the darkness with false promises and sweet temptations, and pollutes your mental and emotional soul. Its motive force is the Yetzer Hara, the impulse of the bad. If you would like to learn more about the parts of the human soul, watch the video about it below. You can find the link in the video description. How can you silence your false ego and follow your higher self? If you decide to follow your higher self, you have already taken a significant and essential step. You can now choose to follow the higher self to the light by your own free will. Essentially, the idea of following your higher self is about choices, and you can start at any time. Included are, in particular, your decisions in everyday life. Each of your previous preferences influences your next ones. With every decision, you allow yourself to manifest your respective driving force within your self-being. In Judaism, there is a saying, mitzvah goreret mitzvah, avera goreret avera, which means something like, a good deed leads to another, just like a sin leads to another. To know more about correct behavior in everyday life, look at our video series, Spirituality in Everyday Life. On the path of your decisions, you will allow your higher self to increase its influence over your mental and emotional soul over time. As a result, you will learn to perceive it more while the false ego of your lower self becomes more and more silent. A fitting metaphor would be when you're listening to the radio in the woods. The chirping of birds and the soft rustling of the wind of your higher self are always there, but you cannot hear them because of the loud music, the noise of your false ego. If you now turn down the volume on your radio, you can finally hear the birds and the sound of the wind. In summary, you are following your higher self by choosing to do so, day in and day out. When your decisions are motivated and balanced by ethics, over time you will increase the influence of your higher self on your mortal, human personality, and your lower soul parts will be cleansed and healed. And here's a special bonus for you. As mentioned in the intro, following your higher self can help in finding your purpose in life. In Western mysteries, your true will represents the meaning of life. Your true will is that part of the divine will that means you are part of the divine plan. If you don't know your true will yet, searching for it is part of your true will. If you want to understand all of this in depth, we wish to allow you to delve deeply into the topic of true will and how to live a spiritually enriched life. You can find more information about this on our homepage. We hope you enjoyed our video and look forward to your comments. We are particularly interested in whether and in which situations you gained experience with the Yetzer Ha-Tov and the Yetzer Hara. In which cases did you have the urge to do something, knowing that it was not good or right? If you want to learn more about Western mysteries and don't want to miss a video about it, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell. We look forward to seeing you again soon. See you soon!